The most powerful thing in a story isn't the dialogue or the cinematic shots or the new locations, it's silence. But not just any silence, it's silence that has meaning and purpose, and silence that almost speaks for itself. Today I want to look at 4 examples of how silence can be effectively used in a story, in a video, to enhance the story, to make the video better, to add emphasis or shock or different elements that we're going to explore, starting with this one right here.
To the 948 of you that rejected my offer, there is no turning back. The Beast Games has now begun. And for the first game, you will all be competing as teams.
Did you see how that added such suspense? Like, it was, you wanted to know what happened next, but there was just silence. So your brain was constantly trying to figure out what's next. And when the talking came back in, it meant so much more because the brain had to wait just a couple extra seconds for it. So that's the first one. The second one is when silence is used for contrast, like this.
In Cam Engineering specifically uploaded a few tutorials of his very complex designs. I use those videos as kind of like a blueprint and came up with a very complex design for my bike. Does this make sense? I think it does, right? This is like a top, aerial view of the bike. We've got...
That was kind of pretty funny, right? It was like one thing was happening and then all of a sudden just that silence was kind of awkward, kind of like, okay, awkward situation. We all have those situations, and in a movie, in a video, in a story, silence is what makes up for that awkward situation kind of vibe. So it adds a bit of humor, a bit of a lightheartedness to the video, really effective. The third one is when there's a lot of information in a story and then there's kind of a silence that allows you to think and reflect. But with this example, you'll see it's not complete silence, it's just silence of dialogue, meaning there's still music in the background, there's still ambient sounds in the background, but there isn't any talking. It's just the talking that stops, but everything else kind of stays where it is. Take a look.
When you arrive there, they will say most of the time that people from Mayotte are very racist against people from Comor because sometimes they can use harsh words. And it's not because they're like cousins. It's the same family.
Yeah.
And now they are treating each other like strangers.
Yeah.
I don't get that. It's painful to watch.
Jesse, can you explain to us what a futari is?
Now, what happened there was they gave you some really important information and they want you to stop for a minute and think about that information. So what they did was, before giving you the next bit of information or before giving you the next scene, they played that little montage. There was just music, no new ideas necessarily coming at you, because they want your mind to rest, stop and think about that one point just for a minute before moving on. It adds a sense of emphasis on that idea that comes before the silence. The fourth and final thing I've seen silence do in a video is not give your brain time to think about the information, but actually let it come to the information, to make the conclusion on its own. What it does is it engages your brain, because most stories is information coming at you, so when there's a moment where there's silence so your brain can come up with the information, fill in the gaps on its own, that is really effective. It makes it more memorable because the brain has to work to get to that information. Take a look.
And with that healthy lead, it was up to Beckham to keep his competitive edge.
Oh, I was almost scared. So close.
And since he was incapable of doing that,
Wait.
I made sure the cup on the final
Did you see how your brain was engaged? It had to like interact with the story to fill in some of the gaps that they intentionally left for you to fill in. It's really great because you remember it more because you are the one that had to kind of work to get to that information. So those were the 4 things I've seen Silence do in videos. If you want to see Yes Theory do this, they do a really great job of incorporating silence in their own videos, so definitely check that video out right there. I break down a whole Yes Theory video, including the silence and so many other super awesome things that they do. Or if you want to watch something else, then there's that video right there.